The big game today, Michigan State coming away with the 87-69 win over Michigan, their fourth straight victory over the Wolverines. We have Big Drew and Jim host Jim Costa from ESPN 961 joining us tonight. Thanks for making a rare television appearance.
I was going to say, you got me out of the house. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I was going to say, people recognize the voice, but maybe not the face, which might be good for you. No, I'm just kidding.
Listen, I'm no Drew Knight.
That's right. When it comes to the game today, I know you watched, I watched.
Yeah.
Some impressive things stood out to me about Michigan State. Obviously shot the ball really well. Cassius Winston, a career high, 32 points. What stood out to you?
Yeah, you mentioned Cassius Winston, and I mean, this is a guy who we all know has been going through some devastating, tragic circumstances with the loss of his brother, and I think that was hard for him. You know, grief isn't a straight line, and I think ups and downs. It looked like this was kind of a exhale. I could get back to being that Player of the Year candidate that he was last year for MSU, and what a performance against a rival, 32 points, and he's shooting threes left, right, it doesn't matter. They had no answer for him.
I think what also is interesting is kind of the change of tempos, because Michigan tried to kind of slow things down when maybe in years past it was kind of the opposite. Now Michigan State's running up and down the floor and making all these threes. Michigan had trouble beyond the arc. What did you see from that perspective?
Yeah, you know, I think Juwan Howard wants to post up, and I don't know if that's always the right call. Some people could say, hey, what are you going to do? You got no Isaiah Livers. You're not shooting the ball very well. You got to go down to the post and rely on Teskey or Brandon Johns. It just felt stark as MSU's running and gunning and scoring, and Michigan's stuck a couple decades behind. And again, I think Juwan's a little shorthanded. He's also first-time head coach, but it looked like Tom Izzo was the master in that matchup.
Yeah, and talking about the coaches, I mean, both of them got technical fouls.
Yeah.
Both of them got heated, you know, and I think Juwan Howard was...
Oh, I love that he brings that.
He brings that fiery passion. So did today tell you anything about going forward in this rivalry between those two coaches, not just the programs?
Well, I think Beilein and Izzo had a great respect for each other, and that rivalry was so great. Both teams going to Final Fours left and right, and I don't expect Juwan Howard to be getting to Final Fours right away. I mean, I think Beilein was a head coach for 40 years. Juwan, 0.
Hopefully it doesn't take,
no, but I think it's going to take Juwan a little bit of time. Get some of his recruits in, get his style in place.
Recruiting's going well, by the way.
Oh, I know, and trust me, that's a big deal for them, because you have to make up for not having the X's and O's experience of 40 years. You better be bringing in some high caliber players, and Michigan is. But I love that they both have a tremendous respect for this rivalry, and I don't think that's going to change now that Juwan's in charge.
Just looking at Xavier Tillman having a big game, the surrounding cast around Cassius Winston, because everybody always talks about, oh, no Isaiah Livers, that's a big deal. Well, no Joshua Langford, no Joey Hauser, list goes on for Michigan State as well. So how do you like this team makeup going towards March?
Yeah, so I'll give Drew a lot of credit, who's not here. He can't speak for himself.
Wow.
He last year in March said they're putting too much on Cassius. They're putting too much on Cassius. He's going to break down. He's a smaller guard. And I thought, well, this will be great. Langford's going to be healthy. Things will... No. So it's encouraging to see Tillman get a double-double. It's encouraging to see the other guys step up, because I think this team still can make that Final Four run and compete for a national title.
Give us a preview for tomorrow's show as well. I know we're not arguing nearly enough as tomorrow's show. So what's on the docket for tomorrow?
Well, I mean, we're going to talk Michigan and Michigan State. We're going to talk about how excited you should be as a Spartan fan when you go and blow out the Wolverines. And if you're Michigan, how concerned are you? No Isaiah Livers. Is it as simple as get him back and recoup and take care of business at home? So a lot of fallout from that. And then overtime games in the NFL playoffs. I think this has been a great sit on the couch weekend. So there's a lot of things for us to talk about.
Yeah, that's for sure. And your viewers, or your listeners rather, don't have to see your face tomorrow. So that's probably a good thing for them, right?
Yes, absolutely, Zach.
Thanks so much for being here, Jim. I appreciate it. You listen to Big Drew and Jim 3 to 6 every weekday on ESPN 961.